Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble. Ground forms up under his feet as it pointing away. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion. He sees what's left of the rippling walls, years of work undone in an instant, in the calamity. And then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Starts to feel his bruises, though. Kid just rages for a while. An old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do. Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink. A school of squirts tunnels up around him. Must have fled here from the mines. It's a wonder the old saloon's still standing. Used to have the nicest view. He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him before his drinking did. Then Kid finds his trusty shield. But just as he's getting a handle on it, the security takes him for a petty thief. Rondi always wanted his ashes scattered here. Special delivery, gas fellas. Windbags starting turning up for last call. The more squirts start coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid. Kid sees the way to the Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop. He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke. Kid spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back. The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land. Kid better watch his step. Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid. Right back at you. Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He's a mighty fast learner. He finds the distillery, right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man. The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job. Some of them squirts birthing like crazy in a couple of corn bins. Ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now. Kid takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did. Robs a scumbag of his last meal. Kid puts him out of his misery. He finds the core to the Wharf District. He steals the city's heart. Might as well. Kid has a feeling he better get a move on. The place is starting to fall. See, that core Kid took was the only thing making this particular rock stay afloat. Kid just keeps running. Somersaulting like crazy. At last, the Skyway's in sight. Whisks him where he needs to go. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest, enough to point the way to the cores. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there. Then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right. Except no one else showed up. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again. Growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. Kid ponders what to build. The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to. Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands. The Workman Ward. Them windbags used to keep the city humming along here. Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong. Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? He heads for the squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time. He heads for the biggest dump in town, Scumbag Alley. And there he is, the oldest scumbag of them all, Gershel. The calamity ain't done much for Gershel's sunny disposition. Shame old Gershel can't float like when he was a young fella. The rest of the path is gone for good, and his city crest won't bring it back. No core, no surprise. Like the gas fellas are hiding it from him. Keeps telling himself he better watch his step. Scumbag can digest just about anything. Except for this. It's quick for slicing and light enough to throw. They say even the most rambunctious squirts can be tamed. No sign of the core here. At least the kid got something for his trouble. Them squirts just don't know when to quit. Up north is where the gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock. Know why gas fellas all dress alike? Kids wondering the same thing. And there it is, but it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. A blustery old foreman's keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd. He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge. Inside the forge, Key can fine-tune those instruments of his. The little Zolwood oil on that blade shines like a light. Core ain't here neither, so he's gotta guess again. And now there's a new marshal in town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. Kid's ready to go, and his ticket out's right where he started. He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hung back, the monument's calling for it. The windbags used to be alright, then the calamity took the floor out from under him. The repeater and machete, favorite choices of the Ura hunters we once fought. Kid ain't finished here yet. Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can start right here. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. Core's stuck inside one of those fancy cages. No breaking a cage like that, but the kid tries it. Some of the stuff lying around is downright dangerous. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Birdie popped that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30, hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. sure. That cage is awful heavy. It's a troublesome scene, to be sure. Left. The core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7. Give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge. It ain't all bad. The kid finds some spices from the motherland, tax-free. I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply. Dread rum's brewed from swamp weeds, so its effect is as bold as its flavor. Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Caelondia. It was good living here for a while. A repeater goes with a hammer better than a box of nails. Kid's lifelong friends looking fit to keep on fighting. The breakers used to come here for target practice. Used to play a little game. See who could bust the most targets and the fewest shots. He's focused. He's armed. And he's off. shot just happens in a flash. Puts on the right solid performance. Kid ain't had enough of the Breakers' barracks. Takes practice, and a mighty strong bow helps too. Kid ain't done bad at all. He returns with some of the materials we need. Windbag Ranch was built for gathering squirt extract in copious supply. Ain't nothing more healthful. Some folks showed up to make a fast buck with nothing but a knife. Other folks came to train their throwing arms. Slippery little devils. Still others use the place to test their finest blades. Place gets awful slick sometimes. Kid cuts all of them down soon enough. Kid comes back from Windbag Ranch, smelling good and ripe. Couples used to walk the sundown path. Kid ain't here for pleasure, though. But then, somebody gets to the core before the kid. The floor starts giving way under the lightest step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky. Stray valuables are lying everywhere. Kid thinks twice about risking his hide for them, though. Well, the path ain't exactly open to visitors no more. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such. Not so much for noise and tomfoolery. Sky bridges link the path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Finds a spyglass, like the ones they'd use to search the stars. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. The calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we can do it again. But the question is, who else could have taken the cord? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back. No, they used to ship live munitions down the path. Find time to find them. These wires to toss those things plenty far away. Even gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky when we wake them up. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So he didn't find a core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. We could always see the stars. We just never could reach them, no matter how high we built. No place better than Trapper Shingle for learning to tread light and shoot straight. Trappers had to tread real careful here, else take a nasty fall. They train themselves by clearing out the targets, while not clearing out the floor. Any good trapper knows never to take a step till the time is right. Expert trappers got something extra to give them an edge. To think a rickety place like the Shingle survived, and so little else did. The dead welcome him with open arms. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees it plain, frozen faces all around. You don't much care to see him. Not like this. These folks never saw the calamity coming. But someone did. Someone close. Someone who ain't like Mr. Beckley, his kindly wife. It was someone like him. Kid sees him there agape, in the flesh. It's a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop, no matter what. He's got so many questions, after all. Just ain't got time for answers. The Thunder brothers didn't make it. They never saw what it was like beyond the walls. Nor did the bird boy. Didn't make it. The Jawsons. They didn't make it. Grady Sr., Grady Jr. They didn't make it. But him, he survived. Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? The Corps survived as well. Kid does what he has to do. And then, what do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this: we have to go. Please. He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time. For Zolf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east. We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. Zolf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. Kid says hello, but Zolf's lost in thought. Ain't always much to say. Turns out those old bones still have some spark in them. That ought to make those fangs sink in nice and deep. War machetes are so quick, you gotta keep a good grip on them. The cores. You remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be alright. Well, look what we have here. The memorial. Here, a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more. Words can't express what happened, but they're all I got. He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zulf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time. The cores. They remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be alright. Ain't always much to say. For Zulf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east. We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. Zulf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. Come on, give the little tiger a break. Well, look what we have here. The memorial. Here, a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more. War machetes are so quick, you gotta keep a good grip on them. Turns out those old bones still have some spark in them. That ought to make those fangs sink in nice and deep. We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city. No use praying to the gods these days. No time for it either. Kid says a little prayer anyway. Couldn't hurt, right? Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pith, the bull. Well, the gods are long gone now, and the orchard core is long gone too. The gods don't care about trinkets, but the kid ain't no god. Pith stood for something once. Something real. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being decoration. He couldn't even save his loyal subjects. Pith makes a decent scarecrow, at least. Then Pith lights up like a rodeo. Ain't easy punching through his hide. Kid breaks him to bits. Must have been guarding that shrine. So what'll it be? Invoke the gods, or tell them off? Pith. Kid decides to press his luck. Well, if the gods are alive, they must be plenty sore. Kid ain't never seen windbags that quick. Maybe old Pith put a scare in him. Kid passes Pith's trial, and he's richer for it. Kid ain't found the core, but at least he found Zolf's precious shrine. Pith Orchard. Place is a dead end in more ways than one. Now we can build a shrine of our own, though I got some alternatives in mind. Zolf doesn't touch the thing. Says the god of commotion is no children's toy. The trappers, daring bunch of fools. They'll be missed. Kid says hello, but Zolf's lost in thought. The Ura feared the gods. We turned them into toys, put their faces on our walls. Squirt cider will toughen you right up. Too bad about the musty aftertaste. The Hanging Gardens. Folks used to go here to relax from their relaxing.